Hello, welcome. This is Rob Reinhold, and in this session we are going to be going through the TraderSync Journal. All right, so TraderSync is one of the journals out there, really good, and I'm going to stress this again. Based on where I started out trading in the mid to late 90s, wow, these softwares are amazing, and TraderSync is one of them. So TraderSync, let me just give you a quick rundown of it, but it has everything you're going to need in a journal. It's going to have analytics. It's going to have your dashboard. It's going to have your charts. It's going to have your reports. It's going to have your automatic P&L. And again, the mobile app is actually really great on TraderSync. In my opinion, TraderSync has the best mobile app out there. So it's got everything you need. So again, it's time to jump in and get familiar with TraderSync. All right, so we're going to start out at the beginning of TraderSync. We're going to talk about opening up an account. We do not own TraderSync. We're not affiliated with TraderSync. We just like their stuff. And years and years ago, so at Maverick, we always had our own proprietary software. We had our own options risk calculator. We had our own journaling. We had a lot of our own charting software. And then over the years, we found out that people were just doing it better than us that had a lot deeper pockets. So I was somewhere like in 2012, 13. I thought to myself, why are we trying to compete with people like TD Ameritrade and Thinkorswim? Like, they clearly have a better product than we could ever build. Let's just use it. And our journal, we had our own trade journals for years and years, and then we said, you know what, this stuff is just better. So when you go onto their website, you just simply open up a free account with them. Now, when you very first open the software up, I'm going to be walking you through some of the things. I'm going to be showing you, okay, this and how it works. But when you jump on, of course, there's going to be a point where you get stuck or you don't understand something. There's lots and lots of help out there. So if you go to the Software Training Center in MaverickTrading.com, there's going to be videos on how to navigate the TraderSync software. During your qualification process, we're going to have little videos of, hey, how to do this in the TraderSync software specifically. But if you still need some help, TraderSync has a very extensive library of tutorial videos. And then, of course, if you can't find it there, go onto YouTube. See if someone has made a video to help you out there. There's going to be lots and lots of help. All right, so let's go back through the stages of trade journaling. You're going to enter your trades in your journal. You're going to analyze it. You're going to review. You're going to improve. So let's go ahead and jump into the very beginnings of the TraderSync software. So you need to go to TraderSync.com, SYNC. And right up in the top, they make it very clear of, hey, how do I sign up? How do I sign up? Very easy. Click the button, go through the process, sign up. All right, so once you have signed up, you can see they say try it free for 7 days. After 7 days, they're going to say, hey, don't you want all the really cool features, all the extra features? And look, that's up for you to decide, but the answer is no, you don't need them. The basic is going to do everything you possibly need. So for 7 days, they're going to give you the full package, and then after 7 days, you're going to be restricted to the basic, which is, like I said, everything you're going to need in a trade journal. If you look around and you say, hey, I really, really like this advanced feature that I don't get on the basic, you can take a look at their pricing. But as I said earlier, you can do everything you need on the basic program. Now, after 7 days, it is going to force you to link to a social media account. So if you have no social media accounts, it's going to be a little difficult. You're going to find out that all of these free journals are going to basically ask you to link to social media. That's their requirement to get the software for free. All right, so once you have made a new account, signed in for the first time, it's going to deliver you right here, and it's going to look exactly like this. It's going to look exactly like this. Now, what they've done is they have filled in lots of data. They've actually said, hey, we're going to put in a whole bunch of trades. And it's just so you can get a feel of what the analytics are like. Because if we were to have no data, we would have no analytics. So they preload it with analytics. And you can see there's a little button that says Erase Demo Data. Now, of course, you're going to hit that button at some point. But when you very first open it, if you want to like scoot around and check things out, I would recommend leaving the data in there because unless there's data, there's no analytics. So let's play around with the analytics real quick. This is your dashboard, and you can see you've got stuff like your win-loss percentage, your average return, your profit factor, all of these numbers that are important. You know, it breaks it down by month, by long, short. Everything is broken down here on the dashboard. If you want to get more granular, then you can go into reports. And you can see that you can actually really get granular here. So let's go down here into setups. So it'll actually take each setup that you label, and I'm going to walk you through how to label setups here. But you can see that this bull flag had a very, very profitable expectancy, where this reversal RSI did not. Now, of course, we need to have a large sample size to really make a great conclusion over what is working for you and what isn't. But right away, you can see that this trader should focus on the bull flag pattern and really consider about just scrapping this reversal RSI pattern. Of course, like I said, you need enough data, but this is how you're going to use this data here. There's lots of things you can take a look at, you know, sector. You know, what sectors am I trading well at the moment? You know, I'm trading healthcare well. I'm not trading industrials. Again, it gives you all these little insights of what you can do. I'm going to go back to the dashboard. You can play around with these, but I'm going to go back to the dashboard and go ahead and hit that Erase Demo Data. Once I do that, you can see that we have no data. We have no data. Now, down on the bottom left here, you can see this little plus button. You've got Add Trades. This is where you're going to spend a lot of your time. And you can see that there's a button called Import Trades. Oh, that is really nice. So if you are trading in a Thinkorswim account, an Interactive Brokers account, an E-Trade account, really any of the big ones, you're going to be able to follow these steps and import your trades. It's going to dump your trades in, and you're going to have your analytics really within a couple minutes. Really, really awesome. Manual entry, we'll cover that in just a second, but I want to go through getting everything set up first. Below this plus sign is your configurations. All right, this is the very first thing I want you to do when you get in is set up your configurations. So I'm going to go first up to portfolio. Now, as we talked about, one of the things you need in a journal is a portfolio, the ability to have multiple portfolios. So they give you a My Portfolio, and it's annoying that you cannot delete that. You can rename it. So I'm just going to rename this one Simulator Trading or Simulator Trades. Okay, so I added that, and I'm going to go ahead and throw some money. Now look, in your Simulator Trades, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whatsoever if you have any money in it. But let's just go ahead and I'm just going to throw in, 10 grand in. It's fake money. Knock yourself out. Okay. So you've gone ahead and you've now made your, I'm going to go back to portfolio, and you can see that we now have a simulator trade portfolio with 10K. Well, I'm going to go ahead and add some more. I'm going to go ahead and add a demo trades portfolio. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to start this one off with $25,000. Okay, so at this point you can see we actually have two. We've got two trades. Let me go and say, hey, you know what? I'm also trading in my Thinkorswim account. So you go in and you add portfolio. And this is where, again, I would recommend just go and download trades into this specific portfolio. But here we'll just throw in some money in here. Okay. You can build as many of these portfolios as you want. And I really recommend that you do build these, because when you build portfolios, and we're going to get into it in just a second, when you enter a trade, you need to assign it to a portfolio, and then you're also going to assign it labels. How well you do this is going to equal how well your analytics will function. So be thoughtful about it, categorize everything. So we've made some portfolios. I'm going to go back to configuration. I'm going to go up to setup. So this is where you can add setups. So I'm going to add some of my setups. So bull pullback, that's a setup. So again, I'm going to add my chart setups. Whatever chart setups you are using, you just simply add these in here. When you get into options trading, I also want you to add your options strategies. So bull call spread, diagonal call spread. So you're going to be adding in a lot of these setups, range bound, call butterflies. So anytime that you add another strategy or another chart setup, I want you to go in and add this, because in the drop down, you're going to choose your labels. Like I said, as long as you label them, we can use the analytics to search for, hey, how well are we doing on our bear rally patterns? Just bear rally patterns. And you could isolate it to your simulator account only, or you can do it to all the accounts to see how you're doing. All right, mistakes. Again, this is not something I use much in this, but if it's something that you think is going to be helpful, you could actually say, I was impatient on this one. Early exit. Whatever it is that you think that you need to label, then you can actually label. As I said, be thoughtful. Whatever labels you add means you're going to be able to use the analytics on that. You're going to be going back to these setups and mistakes and be adding in more and more and more. If you want to, you can go into stuff like commissions, and you can automatically set it up to add a commission. So again, if you are at TD Ameritrade, which is now Schwab, and so again, you can basically go in and set in the commissions. There's really no cost anymore for retail stock trading, but you can go in and you can assign these commissions. And all that does is when you then say, I made a trade, it automatically assigns the commission to that. In your simulator trading, I don't think it's helpful at all. We are not caring about commissions. We just want to get the raw numbers. In your demo trades, you're probably going to be using the import feature, which is going to take care of all this. So I don't really see much need to do this. Last one is theme. Depending on your personality, you can be light or dark. I've chosen dark, as you can see. Now look, that doesn't mean that matches my personality, but my wife would agree with that. All right. Look, I'm not dark. I'm a realist. And realist means pessimist most of the time. But go ahead and play around with the settings. But let's go back to our add trade. All right, now let's just go into our manual trade. So as you can see here, you can go stock, forex, crypto, options, whatever you want to do. And then you're going to assign it to a portfolio. So let's say I'm making a demo trade here. And let's say that it's, I'm looking at the Disney, January 170, 180 strikes. And I'm going to go in, I'm going to buy that. Then I go in, I say, okay, I want this to be a bull call spread. Change this to call. I put in my date, the expiration date. I move that to whatever that expiration date is. I put in the price of the spread. So let's say I paid $3.85 for the spread. And the strike, this is where software is a little bit limited in the fact that you can only put in one strike. So I always just put in my main long strike on this one. So I just put in 170. It really doesn't matter. That is just not all that important. And then you put in your amount of contracts and you hit save. So it's as easy as that, is to put in one trade. If I go back to my dashboard, I'm going to see that trade. I'm going to see that trade right there. And if I want to go in and exit it, I'm simply going to click on it. Then I'm going to go down here to add new order. And I basically am going to do the opposite. I'll put the date I exited. You can see pretty quick on order entry. And this is where I want you to add your tags. So this is where we go and we say, okay, this was a high base pattern. And this was also a bull call spread. And whatever other labels we add, we want to add these right here, because this is going to make it to where when we use our analytics, we can search for it. Mistakes, maybe we said, hey, we got out too early. Okay. And this is where it's cool, where you can go in and add a chart. I highly, highly recommend that you go in and add a chart. So take a picture of the chart when you enter it, throw it in there. When you exit it, throw it in there. So now you have images of what the chart looked like at the entry, what the chart looked like at the exit. Really simple. And then let's just go back to our dashboard. You can see that we now have oops. I obviously did something wrong because it did not exit. All right, if we go back, now we're going to have a closed trade. And once we have a closed trade, there you go. You now have some data. You've got up in your dashboard, you've got 100% win-loss ratio. Great job. Look at that profit factor. That's amazing. Obviously, this is one trade. You want to go ahead and build that up. So once you build it up, you're going to have a set. And I'm going to grab another portfolio here that has some data in it. And I want to show you quickly how to go through and read this data. So up here in the dashboard, you can go in and say, this is where you can really say, okay, how well am I doing? So let's say I want to know how well I'm doing on my bull pullback trades. I can click on this and it's going to give me all of my bull pullback trades. And it's going to show me, okay, this is your overall. But let's say I'm only focused on, I actually don't want my simulator trades in there. So I'm just going to say, I only want my demo trades. So how well am I doing on my demo trades of bull pullbacks? And it's going to give you this. You can choose one or two of these. So again, how am I doing on my bull pullbacks and bull call spreads in my demo trading account? As you can see here, now it's pulling up all the data. This is why the labeling is so important, because if you label correctly, then you can really go ahead and get this data. At this point, this is where you go in, see what you're doing well. This is where, during the process, you're going to send these results to your coach. If you have any time you're saying, hey, I don't like how things are going, this is what we need to see. Send us this. Send us exactly this data, and we can look at this data. And most of the time, we'll probably just say, hey, why don't you just give us your username and password so we can go in and run the data we want to give you some help. The journaling is so important. So that is a crash test on TraderSync. And as I said, there are definitely other things out there, other videos that we're going to be doing to assist and help out. Use them. Use them. The software should not be a difficulty. So if you like TraderSync, give it a test. And if you don't like it, go try something else. Open up a free account, create those simulator and demo accounts first off. That's where you're going to start. Get familiar with the order entry, enter some trades, make enough trades to where you can start to look at analytics, and then this is where you start to make changes. And the people that journal well, they can send to us and say, hey, you know what, I'm doing really well on my bullish trades, but not on my bearish trades. What should I do? And that's where we can actually step in and be like, okay, let's take a look at these trades. You're not waiting long enough, or there's not enough confirmation. We can go in, and especially if you take pictures of the charts on entry and exit, we can give you lots of good analysis on where to go and what changes to make. All right, that is TraderSync. Jump in. You'll find out it's a fascinating and fun little tool to use. Thanks, everyone. Goodbye.